Hi folks, welcome along to the channel. For this race review I thought I'd do something a little bit different and sit here in my little box in the corner of the screen and talk through the race a little bit as we watch it unfold. It was quite an eventful race at Long Beach. We had a interesting first lap, a couple of things I'm not too proud of myself for, but after that it was a race I'm really happy with and proud of. We worked hard on the car setup through the week and arrived at a balance that was really good and consistent. It surprised me in the race actually how consistent it was, and how little tyre wear I was picking up, and I was able to recover from again what was a pretty messy start ultimately to a good result, taking the race win by over a lap, which was insane. I have to say, I did not expect that at all coming into this week. So let's get stuck in. So here we are on the start line for the Long Beach Grand Prix, or was it US West Grand Prix, I think it was called, at Long Beach Circuit. Obviously this is the Monaco week in real life. We don't have Monaco in the sim, hence why we're racing at Long Beach. It's a little bit more open than Monaco, I have to say. It's still really tricky. There's still concrete walls everywhere, but it's a little bit easier to pass. You do have a DRS zone, a couple of long straights with a DRS zone, so it's a little bit easier to pass. But it's just really difficult to keep the car out the walls effectively, as I find out in lap 1. So here we are on the grid. The camera will focus on me in the red car, obviously, number 3. Now, unfortunately, in the run to the first corner, I do have a little bit of contact with Anthony Catt in the blue and white car ahead. So I got a cracking start from P5 in the grid. Qualifying wasn't great, that's why I'm kind of down there. So Anthony, if you watch him, he goes to the right here. I just tried to avoid him and unfortunately knock him a little bit there out the race. So apologies, Anthony, for that. I did not mean it, and it was just the slightest of contact. I didn't pick up any damage, unfortunately he did. Well, that was that. So we're up to P2 already. Jacob Reid leading the race early. The replay here showing him with a medium downforce wing. I'm pretty sure he ran a high downforce wing. At least I hope he did. I'm afraid to set up with a medium downforce here. But anyway, so at this point I'm just kind of thinking, right, let's get settled into the race. See what kind of pace I've got versus Jacob, and we'll take it from there. That was the wall I hit last year on the first lap, so I was keen not to do that again. But unfortunately at this next corner, I did hit the wall. It hurts to watch. So yeah, glance the wall in the front left. You can just see the wing there has got a little bit of a bend in the end plate. So I was losing downforce and straight line speed from this point on. You can see it there in the shot. That yeah, the end plate's not looking great. So I'm thinking, well, let's try and stick it out and see what kind of pace we have. It might not be that bad. I've got a reasonable gap behind me to release. But yeah, by these couple of corners it was obvious and a bit too much understeer, and Reid was disappearing down the road. So I had to make a decision. What do we do? So we're going to have to stick it out and hope I can maybe pull away a little bit from the guys behind and I consolidate second, or do we chuck our eggs into a risky strategy and box for a new nose cone? I'd come out in fresh air, clean track, which would be good. I'd be on the soft tyres, which would be good as well because they'd be faster hopefully than the mediums. But I'd be a long way back. It's about 38 seconds for a pit stop here, and when the lap time is 60 seconds ish, 61, 62 seconds, then that's half a lap behind. So yeah, not great. But anyway, I decided the car was horrible. I'm obviously getting caught now by the guys behind, so I dive into the pit lane for a nose change. Not away with the camera, sorry. My camera skills leave a lot to be desired. So running down the pit lane, everyone's flying past, as you can hear in the background. And yeah, at this point I'm pretty annoyed at myself. There's Cat's car in front, which I'm sure he's more annoyed at me. Sorry again, Anthony. So yeah, it's a long stop, has to change the nose. But the good news, as I say, is that I'm going to be out in fresh air with a fresh set of tyres and soft tyres and a fresh nose cone. So hopefully we can make hay while the sun shines. As you can see in the background, all the other cars are streaming back up the other way. So far behind. Anyway, so we're back out on track. Let's skip forward a few laps. So here we are, lap 11, just going on to lap 12. I've obviously been pushing on these tyres for a while now, but the car's feeling good, it's feeling balanced. The pace is okay. I'm slightly faster than Reid. I'm keeping an eye on his lap times up front, or rather the gap to him up front. just to get a gauge of where I am pace-wise. And we're kind of starting to close the gap back down again. So I'm thinking at this point, well, let's see, can we close down enough that when he boxes and pits, he's going to come up behind me, and then we'd have a little bit of a fight in our hands. Although I've got a long way to go in these set of tyres, obviously. So, but just trying to do what I can at this point. This is the first car that we caught, and again with the soft tyres and the pace advantage I had, it was relatively easy. But DRS open now, you can see that with the 4 green lights on the steering wheel. Not that easy. I had to do it on the brakes, but yeah, managed to get by up to what position am I in now? I forget. 11th, I think. Up to P11. So yeah, at this point, really just trying to get on with it, trying to get into a rhythm. This is a circuit again that you really need to get into a rhythm, because the walls are so close, and you just have to start feeling what the car's doing and really get to know what the car's going to do before it does it, which is easier said than done a lot of the time. But it was feeling good. It was feeling good. I was playing with the diff settings a little bit to try and find a balance that would work well and not wear one end of the tyres too much. I found that it was really easy to wear the rear tyres hard here. I mean, there's so many traction zones from low down that it was easy for the rears to go off. So this is going to be another close DRS pass hopefully here. And I started driving in such a way that I would really try and take care of the rear tyres, because once the rear tyres start to go off, you start sliding the back more, and the more you slide the back, the more the rear tyres go off, and it gets worse and worse. You get into this cycle, and all of a sudden you're in the wall sideways. So playing with the diff, trying to really stiffen things up on entry and mid especially, so that the car was pushing through the corner, and I was taking care of the rears. Aware that again I'd have a long way to go. At this point I honestly was not planning to one-stop the race. I was planning to come in again, but again I thought, well, let's just see what the gap is to the leader. If I can get into his pit window so that when he pits he comes out behind me, then I can try and fight a little bit before I have to box with the tyres. And yeah, that was that. So let's fast forward again, shall we? So we are lap 24, sitting P5 now. Now remember at this point, if you look ahead and see the two cars, I remember thinking, that's third place up ahead. So yeah, I kind of started to believe that maybe a good result was maybe possible again here, because looking down this straight I could definitely see P4 and then to say P3. That's the podium there. We've managed to claw back the time lost with the early pit stop and the contact obviously in the long pit stop. And now I can see the podium. So yeah, maybe it's not going to be that bad after all. But again, this long way to go. Long way to go. 83 laps in total. So yeah, a lot to do. So I'm just going to shut up for a bit and just watch this these next couple of laps. I can't remember. I think one of these guys may let me by. I can't remember. I don't think so, because we're up in the podium places almost now. So. Yeah, let's just watch this car dancing between the balls for a bit. That was a bit wiggly. So like Apex on the power. I think I'm a bit too far back here to make the pass. Am I? I'm gonna wait for the main straight. Lock up a little bit there, just not run into the back of him. So the concertina effect as they come out the corner and the guy ahead gets on the throttle early and pulls ahead, but he started harvesting really early. I think he maybe ran out of battery. He started harvesting really early down the straight, so that was quite an easy one. Back to the right for the brakes. Missed the apex there, but also missed the wall in the exit, which is the main thing. And now this is the podium. This is for P3. This car ahead, so. Game on. It really is relentless, this circuit. just trying to line him up here if I can get close enough into the DRS in the main straight. Goes to the right quite early. We're in the toe, got the DRS open. Then you start to close, yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. To the right, make sure we don't chop his nose off in the braking zone. Nice. Up into P3, so good, progress is being made. In P2, can we see P2? Let's wait till we're on the next straight. Can't remember what the gap was up to second. I think from memory we're now in the pit window of Reed as well, so that when he boxes, he would come out behind me. Not by much, it was only a couple of seconds or so, but I thought, well, at least I've got, yeah, there's P2 in the distance. Let's go chase it down. So lap 39 now. I forgot actually, as I caught P2, he pitted, so that was an easy pass to make because I didn't have to do anything. He came into the pit lane. So here we are, lap 39. We've now, I think, we're around about 20 seconds behind Reed in the lead. That rhymes, Reed in the lead. So yeah, I'm just thinking now, well, when's he going to pull the trigger? When's he going to pit? Thought around about the kind of late. I was thinking kind of mid-30s. My original strategy was kind of mid-30s, early 40s at the latest to pit. So this is around about the pit window. I would have probably aimed to pit in, sorry. But this is the lap he came in, so lap 39 onto lap 40 now, and I've gone to the chopper camp here, so hopefully this is the pit lane at the right hand side of the screen here, and hopefully as we come around here we should see, there he is in the pit lane, so he's still stopped in his box, and we're in the lead of the race. So we've came from, yeah, that first lap shenanigans, fought back, and we're now in the lead of the race. I think the gap when Reed came out of the pits was about 12 seconds. And yeah, so at the moment I'm kind of thinking this is okay. So let's see. So the next few laps are critical. That's what's in my head. Is that let's see what kind of pace Reed has on the new tyres. Because obviously he's a lot fresher tyres than me now. I've been going to these things for quite a while, half a race almost, pretty much half a race actually. And he's going to come out the pits on brand new tyres. So let's see what kind of pace he's got, how fast he catches me, and then we'll see where we go from there. So this is a few laps later, lap 48, and I'm pulling away. I'm kind of struggling to understand why I'm pulling away, but I'm pulling away. I think Reed just struggled to turn his tyres on, get the temperature into them initially, and then I think once you're into that cycle of not being able to get temperature into your tyres, then it's difficult to kind of recover them, and you start maybe sliding a little bit, and once you start sliding, it's kind of gone. But anyway, from my point of view, the car still feels great. It's still, the balance is really good. It's still the same kind of, a bit close to the wall there, but the balance is really good. The car feels predictable, and I'm pulling away. So now I'm thinking, right, this is I'm pretty much where now in the kind of mid 40s. I'm pretty much where I thought in my pre-race strategy. If I do have to box early for a new nose, put on the softs, I'll probably have to pit again around about now, but kind of mid 40s on laps. So I'm playing with the idea coming into the pits, but knowing that if I do, I'll come out behind Reed, obviously. I should be in P2, I think the gap was big enough to P3, so I'll come out in second. But do I want to? Because at the moment I'm pulling away, the car still feels good. So why would I box? So I don't. I just decide to keep going and see what happens. So lap 60, jumped ahead a little bit again here. Car still feels fine. The pace is really consistent. And you can actually see on my dash there. I don't see the in-game dash when I'm driving. My steering wheel's got figures on it. I'll flick to this screen. I don't know I'm on this screen, but this is the tyre temperature screen. I don't get live tyre temperatures in the car, so this is interesting for me to know what was happening with the tyres, because I couldn't see this in the car. I'm just going to kind of try and feel it. But you can see the blue numbers, the core temperatures. The front left's at 97, front back, the left rear, sorry, is 95, front right's at 92, 91. The back right is at 90. So really good balance there. The surface temperature, the big numbers. So we've got mid 80s. They're so well balanced. Like, that's crazy actually for me to see that now. how balanced they are. I'm still in the 1 minute 1s.8 that lap round, which again is good pace. I don't think anybody else in the whole race got below 1 minute 2s. So pace is fantastic. The balance is great. Obviously, I didn't know this, but you can see the tyres are great. I could feel the tyres were great. I just didn't know what the actual figures were. So I'm keeping going, and now it's gotten to the stage of my little driver delta box that I have that I'm so far ahead of Reid. I've kept pulling away that he's now closer to being in front of me, if you like, coming around to on a lap. He's not coming up behind me in the driver's track. He's coming up in front of me. So yeah, things are going really well, and what we got, well, I say we're on lap 60 or so. Be 20 laps to go. I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going as long. I'm just thinking now, right? Maybe we don't have to box again. Maybe we can just keep at this. But starting to think, 20 laps to go. Keeping an eye on the tyres, and I'm really trying to just feel where the car is every corner. And I'm just waiting for a warning sign that something on the tyres is a way to go. We've gotten to the end of the tyre life. But as long as my thinking is, as long as I don't feel anything unusual from the tyres or the balance changing drastically, then I'll just keep going. The other thing, obviously, in your mind as well is when you lap cars, like we've obviously got a car ahead here that coming up to pass soon, you're just really aware of what happens if they make a mistake. If they hit the wall, they're going to bounce back onto the track. Where are they going to bounce back on? Just being aware of if I need to take avoiding action, because that could destroy your race very quickly. Obviously, something like that happening. But touch wood, so far it's going well. So I've jumped again here to lap 79, so we're like 4 laps to go, and this is it. The gap is one. Jacob Reid has unfortunately had to pit again. I think for damage. I haven't watched the replay fully, so I don't know. Presume he had to pit for damage. So I'm now a lap ahead. He's come out the pits a couple of seconds behind me. I think he had steering wheel damage as well, so he's dropping back. So yeah, it's looking amazing. Really did not expect to be here. As you can see from the display, the tyres still look good and balanced. The tyres still feel balanced. So here I get DRS from the back marker. You can see the green lights on the dashboard coming on. And this lap now, lap 80, is it? Is the fastest lap of the race. So we'll just watch this on board. The DRS obviously helps. And then in my mind, I'm actually thinking, do I just push on a little bit on this lap with the DRS to see if I can just nail on the fastest lap at the end? And at this point, my delta was still negative. I was still below faster than my previous best. I thought, okay, let's go for it. You can hear me chasing the throttle in the corner quite early, which is a bit risky at this time of the race when your tyres are worn. And there as well, I'm really on the throttle really early, which is something I haven't been doing for a while to try and save the tyres a little bit, but I really wanted to try and just nail a fastest lap at the end. Now on the throttle there again, make sure you hit this apex. So easy to go wide there, locking the brake. I was a little bit late on the exit, but my delta is now I think a 10th or 2 tenths down than where it was. There we go, that's the fastest lap of the race that got me the extra bonus point. I think I had the fastest lap the whole race, to be fair. I'd say nobody will. 1 minute 1.16 time we came up with the dash. So that was a nice little feeling at the end, just to bang in the fastest lap, with the help of DRS obviously. And that was it. We've only got a couple of 3 laps to go, a couple of laps to go now. And I can't quite believe that we're in a position that we're in, as I say, almost a lap and a half now ahead of P2. 2 laps ahead of everyone apart from actually the car in front is P3. So if we do pass him, which I think I do on the next lap, yeah, the penultimate lap, then it's going to be a lap and a half ahead of P2 and 2 laps ahead of the rest of the field, which is mind blowing, to say the least. So here we are, out the final corner, on to the last lap of the race. That's the overtake, or the lap, sorry, on P3. And here we are, 1 lap to go at Long Beach. After pretty much a disaster in the first lap. The only thing that could have been worse is if I'd hit the wall a bit harder and damaged the suspension, which thankfully I didn't do. It was just a nose change, but yeah. The tyres to do 81 laps, was it, on a set of soft tyres. Did not expect to do that at the start of the race. But the car was amazing. Really, that's one of the best balances I've had in this thing, any circuit. And to have that at a circuit like this, where you need the balance to be so good, is really what won the race for us. So, yeah, amazing. Final corner, and yeah, I was a little bit of a weave there, and I was shouting and punching the air. As you may have seen if you follow us on social media, my post-race picture that Holly took. Yeah, that was cool. Right, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed that little insight into my race. And there we go. See you next time.